You think today's lawsuits are crazy? Trust me, the past makes Hot Coffee Lady look like Supreme Court material. Here are the 20 dumbest court cases that somehow shaped real laws, proving once again that stupidity can, in fact, be legally binding. A man sued Subway after winning a Subway for Life contest and receiving just $13,000 in gift cards. He claimed for life meant unlimited sandwiches until death. The court ruled otherwise, stating companies can define lifetime supply however they want. The judgment saved corporations from feeding one guy forever, and saved us all from sandwich-based bankruptcies. A prisoner once sued himself, claiming that by committing a crime he violated his own civil rights and demanded the state pay damages to, well, himself. The judge quickly dismissed the nonsense, labeling it legally incoherent. Still, this ridiculous stunt led to clearer rules for rejecting frivolous prisoner lawsuits. Ironically, he lost the case against himself, which feels like poetic justice. A judge in Washington, D.C. sued a dry cleaner for $67 million over a lost pair of pants, arguing that the store's "Satisfaction Guaranteed" sign was a literal legal promise. The court disagreed, reminding everyone that satisfaction isn't infinite and customers can't treat slogans as contracts. The fiasco became a national joke but led to reforms curbing abusive consumer lawsuits. Somewhere those pants are still laughing. A psychic once sued NASA for spiritually trespassing on Mars, claiming the Viking lander disturbed the souls living there. NASA politely explained that Mars is uninhabited, and the court dismissed the claim instantly. Yet, this absurd moment helped refine legal definitions of who actually has standing in space-related cases. Turns out not everyone can represent Martian spirits in court. A Nebraska senator filed a lawsuit against God, accusing the Almighty of causing floods, fear, and death. The judge threw it out because the defendant, God, had no known address and couldn't be served legal papers. The case became legendary for illustrating limits of jurisdiction. God's legal record remains spotless, 1-0, undefeated for eternity. A man tried to claim a Harrier jet after seeing a Pepsi ad that joked 7 million Pepsi points could buy one. He actually raised the money and demanded his fighter jet. Pepsi refused, so he sued for breach of contract. The court ruled that no reasonable person would think the ad was serious, birthing the reasonable viewer standard. Thanks to one ambitious soda drinker, companies can now joke safely, without owing anyone a warplane. A woman in Chicago sued Starbucks for $5 million, claiming her iced coffee had too much ice and not enough coffee. The judge dismissed it, noting that even a child knows ice displaces liquid. The case cemented the reasonable consumer rule. Courts don't protect you from basic physics. Moral of the story: if you want more coffee, order it hot. A Turkish mayor tried to sue Warner Brothers for using his city's name, Batman, in the Dark Knight movies. He blamed the film for rising crime and psychological damage among locals. The case was never filed, but it became an instant international joke. It also created the unwritten "Don't Sue Batman" rule, because nobody wins against a billionaire vigilante. A psychic from California sued a hospital for ruining her sixth sense after a brain scan allegedly disrupted her energy field. The judge dismissed the claim, saying medical science doesn't recognize aura interference. The ruling quietly reinforced that evidence, not vibes, determines legal truth. Science 1, Supernatural 0. A man in California sued his date for texting during their movie, claiming her phone use ruined the cinematic experience and violated the implied social contract of silence. The judge disagreed and dismissed the case immediately, teaching everyone that bad dates aren't grounds for litigation. Turns out you can't sue someone just because they ghosted you, even mid-movie. A man once sued the Weather Service for $1,000, claiming their sunny forecast made him leave home unprepared for a thunderstorm that ruined his clothes. The case was dismissed instantly, but it became a running joke in legal circles about predictive responsibility. Apparently, even the weatherman can't control nature, or dry cleaning bills. A New York woman sued her nephew for $127,000 after he hugged her too enthusiastically and broke her wrist. She claimed emotional distress from his negligent embrace. The court rejected the claim, reminding the world that love isn't a liability. The story went viral, and the woman became the unintentional face of too litigious to hug. A student sued his university for emotional trauma after receiving a B+ instead of an A, arguing that the grade ruined his chances at Harvard Law. The court ruled that grading is academic judgment, not a civil offense. The decision reinforced academic freedom and the universal truth that sometimes you just didn't earn the A. A man sued Apple claiming his iPhone turned him gay after he downloaded a same-sex dating app and met someone he liked. The court called it utterly absurd and tossed it out. Still, it went viral enough to become a symbol of personal accountability, or lack thereof. Technology can change lives, but not your orientation through Wi-Fi. A man in New York sued McDonald's for making him overweight, claiming the fast food chain failed to warn him that burgers and fries were unhealthy. The judge dismissed it, stating that common sense is not optional in law. The ruling became a milestone for personal responsibility and a reminder that ignorance of calories isn't a legal defense. A Florida man sued a theme park after claiming that the haunted house was too scary and caused emotional distress. The court quickly dismissed it, noting that buying a ticket to a haunted attraction means consenting to being scared. The case helped clarify assumed risk laws and proved that not every scream deserves compensation. A prisoner filed a lawsuit against himself for violating his own rights by committing crimes that landed him in jail. He demanded the state pay him damages, as he couldn't afford the settlement. The court declared it nonsensical, but it ironically pushed forward standards for rejecting frivolous inmate claims. Justice served, with a side of irony. A man sued Google for invading his thoughts, claiming that the search engine was reading his mind and showing ads based on his private ideas. The court rejected it as delusional, though it did spark discussions about digital privacy. The irony? His paranoia indirectly previewed the real privacy debates that followed years later. A couple sued their wedding photographer for missing a few key moments during their ceremony, demanding over $1 million in emotional damages. The court ruled that disappointment isn't worth $1 million and capped damages at a refund. The case redefined how emotional value is measured and taught couples to double-check the camera guy. Crazy, right? From suing McDonald's for calories to blaming Google for reading minds, people really will sue for anything. Which one do you think was the most ridiculous? Or do you think any of them actually made sense? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more unbelievable real-life lawsuits, and share it with someone who loves crazy stories like this.